Welcome back, people. It's the Critic Corp. I am Toke, and I'm here with a review on the movie Napoleon today, starring Joaquin Phoenix and Vanessa Kirby, which I, me personally, Joaquin Phoenix is my boy. He always delivers, but Vanessa Kirby, man. She might have stole the show right from underneath this man's grips with her performance. Like, oh my god, I don't think anyone could have portrayed the role of Josephine the way she did. It it was a dog ass portrayance battle between her um as Josephine and Joaquin Phoenix as Napoleon, man. Like, they did an outstanding job. Also, fucking Ridley Scott, the director, man, he did his thing again, bro. I'm gonna give him a fucking round of applause. The writer David Scarpa did his thing as well too. Like, this movie all around was just fucking great. We got to see, the rise and fall of Napoleon and what he really was about, as a emperor, a husband, and just a man. And we also got to see, the trials and tributes of Napoleon relationship between him and Josephine, the love of his life. And it was I would say it was a obsession that he had. And like, he really, he really loved her. He really loved her. He um he was his most vulnerable uh when he was, around her, and it showed. And he really wanted things to work out between him and her, but she could not provide him with the child. So, and he wanted a hire. He wanted a heir. He wanted someone to, he wanted a boy, to take over his throne, pretty much. And it it really, that was like the big dilemma between their relationship. Also, given that she wasn't really, I don't know, it seemed like she wasn't um as much as obsessed with him as he was with her. And she, like, took his love for granted, and you know used, his weakness that he had for her against him. And just like, not really giving her, she wasn't giving her 100% all in love compared to him. And it really broke him. And we got to see that. But once, like I said, once he, came to the conclusion that she couldn't provide him with the kid, he divorced her ass, um, sent her to this fucking place called Chateau de Mal, Mal, what was it? Malmaison? Malmaison? I just this is pretty much this little ducked off house in near Paris where he can keep the eye on her, pretty much keep tabs on her, but you know, not be seen with her pretty much in a sense, and made her got her empress title, retained, revoked, and given to someone else so he can have a kid pretty much. And like I said, he loved her. He loved her, but she couldn't, like I said, she couldn't provide. And that kind of, as you've seen, that kind of really, that's when it hit her the most. And she, you know, started to realize that her security is gone, and um, she's pretty much nothing now. She's useless in a sense. You know, yeah, he loves her with all his heart. He's gonna make sure she's all right, kind of deal. But she wanted, she wanted that security. She wanted more. Once she realized, he wanted nothing to do with her. In that, in that, to a certain extent, you know, it's always like that. Once something leaves your life, you realize how much you really, you know, wanted that. It's you never realize it until it's gone. How much you really wanted the shit. But yeah, that was their big little dilemma, or big difficulties of their relationship that they had. Um, Napoleon himself had some issues, that he was battling with. Well, like I said, like as a emperor and a man alone, he was this egotistic, insecure man that was just going around creating wars and um like just making himself feel um you know making himself feel like he needed to prove that he was that guy, and that he was just uh important, like he had to be this powerful and this type of smart, but uh also like lack of a man to get people to notice him. At the same time, you know it was like, what the fuck. Even his wife was saying it, like, you know you're just a little, a man that's trying to fill a void, pretty much. Like, you're nothing. Like, I don't know why you're trying to make yourself be this big great thing, but you're nothing. And it's a scene where he tells her, like, my destiny is more powerful than my own will. And it's like, that was like, wow, that line right there really caught me. Like, what the fuck? This man's he really thinks he's meant for something great, and you know, it's not what it. It's really not what that seems to be. Especially with how they showed him just dropping and dying, like in the most interesting way. I think really Scott did that on purpose, just to show like that he's no uh you know he's no spectacular or different than anyone else. He's not any, he's just an ordinary uh guy. Like, he's regular old Joe, because I read up on it, and they said he died from stomach cancer, and even Ridley Scott said he thought about putting a scene in there before the Battle of Waterloo of showing him bleeding while he was sitting on the shitter and whatnot, coming from obviously coming from his stomach or some shit like that. But he was like, nah, I'm gonna just leave it very vague, and yeah, he just croaked over and died type of deal. Leading to his last few days of his exile, which he fucking ends up uh getting when he lost the fucking battle Waterloo against Duke of Wellington, and fucking what was it? I think it was June 18th. Yeah, June 18th of 1815. Pretty much French versus the Europeans or whatnot or whatever. Yeah, he got defeated. He got caught lacking finally. After all these goddamn battles and time, all this shit he done conquered, he finally got caught slipping. In his late years, after Josephine then passed from a severe illness, him just being, just left to fight his, goddamn battles and his whole mental state on his own. He has no one to write to. He has, like I said, he's a fucking insecure, broken man in the heart, and it really got to him, in his exile. He started hearing fucking Josephine's voice and whatnot, and follows it to the light. Yeah, type of deal. But let's get back to this battle though. The Battle of Waterloo. Fucking his life got scarred. Like, he could have, the fucking Duke of Wellington, he had a clean open shot to shoot this man, Napoleon. But, given the respect and what all this man has achieved, he decided to spare his life and just send him into exile to this island of Saint Helena or whatever, off the coast of Africa. And yeah, that's where he fucking ends his last few days into his demise. 6 years or whatever later, he just dies, and it ends like that. Not given, like I said, all the achievements he done fucking made. All the allies with Austria, Prussia, Russia, fucking all the fucking countries, the Low Countries of Germany, or Low Countries in Western Germany, like Italy, Poland, fucking, goddamn Spain, that he then just took over. Like, this man, he really made his mark, but it was like, okay, you did all this shit, and who's to say you're gonna even be remembered for it the way you want to, the way you want to be remembered for this. Yeah, you know, obviously as history goes on, you're gonna be talked about, but it was kind of like, they even I think expressed it in the last scene with him talking to these two little girls on the island, and they're like play sword fighting, and he's trying to express to them, you know, who he is pretty much, and uh they're like calling him, calling him out like you're a liar, you're not this, you know who you say you are, because this is like way beyond this. Now, like I said, this is like going on 6 years and whatnot. So it's people that's then came and conquered, um, you know, so much that he's been forgotten. And it's like I said, it's like, man, you did all this shit, and now you're not even spoken of, just because of that one big defeat. Is sad to say, but people talk about more people talk about your failures more than your success, or people remember more of your failures than your success. It's crazy. It's crazy. But like I said, man, this movie was great. All the battle scenes were fucking clean, crazy, fucking graphic. Um, all the side actors, supporting actors did their thing. And then, like I said, Vanessa Kirby and Joaquin Phoenix were definitely neck and neck for their acting skills. So, yeah, man, go check this shit out. It's definitely a slapper. I can't wait to see the awards it attracts. For sure, it deserves something. Um, Leave some comments. Let me know what you guys thought about this movie. Like and subscribe. Support the motherfucking corp. And I'll be back fucking for Invincible and Jujutsu and other animes. So stay tuned. Toodles.